I was very pleased when last week the News Tribune wrote about Reb Sender Feuerstein. Really, they didn't understand him and express him well how much his Ahavas HaTorah was. The pictures of the Chasna of Rebbe Feuerstein, we see Rabbi Schneider, Rabbi Moshe Schneider. We have no idea what for Gudel B'Yisruel, every word he said became Bekiyim. We have no understanding. I've just got to explain you a few stories soon about these people. Unbelievable stories. So we see Mr. Cohen, Jackie Levinson's here on the left, Mr. Cohen on the right, his father-in-law. You know what Messias Nefesh these people had for Yiddishkeit and to keep mitzvahs in that time. My brother and me, my twin brother and me, used to learn Daf Yomi with Rebbe Feuerstein. There was a shiur there in 95 in the afternoon from about 3 till 7. And there came 3:30 till about 7. And there came Rebbe Feuerstein, Rebbe Kamyonka used to learn. Other people used to add on and sit down together and also learn, my brother and me. And who else came? Rabbi Tesher, El Melech Tesher. And there was a few others, Mr. From Lordship Park, Mr. Hirschberger used to come. Oh yes, and I don't remember all the people used to come. A few people used to come regular. The Ahavas HaTorah. Rabbi Kamyonka used to say, der Feuerstein hat so lieb to learn. This love of learning, that's what brought into me what I always wanted to conquer, to want to love to learn. When you lie in learning, you don't feel the time has passed. Oh, 4, 5, 6 hours have passed, and I've sat here learning. You're so occupied with Limud HaTorah. The Beis Yisrael used to say, alles wird gerupieten to me. Gaby, alles wird gerupieten von Avaira, Stramel, Beckischer, Payas, alles nicht. Teure lernen, berusit, durch the horror, berusit teure Tafeln, only learning teure. And you have to have a Ahavas HaTorah. And I said to the Rebbe, I asked for a brucha, Ahavas HaTorah, from the Beis Yisrael, and Baruch Hashem, he gave me a brucha that I should have a Ahavas HaTorah. This is something which you don't understand. This is more, this is a levush, this is a clothing on you that makes you completely near to the Rebbeinu Shalom. You're part of the Rebbeinu Shalom. And the Rebbeinu Shalom looked into the Torah and made the world. You feel part of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You feel part of the Rebbeinu Shalom. You don't want to do an Avaira. Rabbi Feuerstein never wanted to do an Avaira. Rabbi Kamyonka never wanted to do an Avaira. They loved learning Torah. They loved for Torah was so tremendous. I'm not talking about Rabbi Melech Tesher and the others who came there. All loved Maya Perlman, who still comes out of Yom there. This love for Torah, this love for learning. You cannot understand it. I don't know how I can put it in. I try to put it into my children, at least in my Einiglich. How to put it into people to explain that this isn't Stam Gunish. This isn't like a Rebbe. This is Yiddishkeit alone. This is God alone. There were Gedolim in Torah, but there were also Gedolim in Chesed. Rabbi Levinson, the son-in-law of Mr. Cohen, Mr. Joseph Cohen, who I remember also loved to learn, and how he was only from the Yechidis Gila of that time, who didn't get color, and the English Jewish people who survived Yiddishkeit, and Rabbi Levinson, his godless in Gemillas Chasodim, in Achnosses Orchim. Es ist ein Gudel B'Yisruel, ist doch noch an, da Gudel B'Yisruel in Achnosses Orchim. We don't understand this kind of concept of Rabbi Levinson is. I can't even start to explain you. And Rabbi Moshe Schneider. Rabbi Moshe Schneider was a Gudel B'Yisruel. You know what happened, the story they tell of Rabbi Moshe Schneider? Every boy had a job. One boy had a job to go to Grodzinski's in the East End and get a sack of bread for the Buchim and Schneider's in Leitland Road. And one of these boys, his job was getting somebody to do it every day and tiling iron. His job was to give out the work. This was his job. And if he didn't find anybody else, he had to do it himself. Ramosha once found the person in charge of doing the bread, bringing the bread to the school. It was a very embarrassing job. He paid a penny on the bus, and he was embarrassed by the goyim, would shepherd him, oh, you Jew, and all these kind of ways. You know how we are, and we get embarrassed. And he was, but watch. So Moshe said to him, "Is it hard for you?" He says, "Yes, it's hard, but that's my job, and I've got to do it." This Bochel said. And Moshe said to him, is it embarrassing? And asked him. He said, yes, of course. The goyim shout. He comes with a sack onto the bus, and he had to wear places where the cases go. He puts a sack, and they look at it. Oh, that's bread. What are you going to do? You know, it made him look very bad. Just imagine how it made him feel. So Moshe said to him, you will be zoiche to feed a lot of Talmidei Chachomim. You will be zoiche to a sachgeld, a rois ashiris, and you will win. And this man had nothing at the time. This Bucher had nothing. You know who he became? He became one of the Reichman. He was one of the Reichman brothers from Toronto, who today is one of the richest people in the Klal Yisrael, who gives tzedakah, billions of pounds of tzedakah. That was one of them, one of those brothers. And there was another person who used to wake up the Buchim, and he used to go up with the Buchim, and he felt that he's wasting his time. He could learn at that time. I'm running around wasting. So Moshe met him and said to him, you're losing your time out. You won't be able to be such a Talmid Chacham because you're not being able to learn. At that time you could learn when you have to wake up the Buchim in the morning. So he said to Moshe, yes. Moshe said to him, you will become a Godel B'Yisrael. You will become one of the biggest Dayonim in Klal Yisrael, and that's who he is today. And that is Moshe Sternbuch. He became one of the biggest. He's one of the biggest Dayonim today from the Heidei Achedis in Klal Yisrael. Moshe Schneider wasn't stammer person. Every word he uttered, every word he said. There was something which was left out a few weeks ago in the Amodia when they wrote up about Rabbi. They wrote up about, I don't know who they wrote up about, Mr. Zimmerman, yes. They forgot to say who Mr. Zimmerman worked for. And the person Mr. Zimmerman worked for was Rabbi Yossel Rakov. Rabbi Yossel Rakov lived in 82 Lordship Road. And Rabbi Yossel Rakov, when he opened the door to somebody to come in, and I was in the Levai of Rabbi Yossel Rakov, I was in Rabbi Yossel Sugar White's car, and we were taking Rabbi Yossel Rakov when he died to Eretz Yisrael, and we went, as he was one of the prominent Gerech Hasidim, we went with to the cargo bay in Heathrow, and in my car was Rabbi Yossel Sugar White was driving, Rabbi Gaby Schneider was in front, and I was in the back. And Rabbi Gaby said, you know why I'm going with? You know that Mr. Rabbi Yossel Rakov hat Chasna gemacht, hinderte and behindert Yesoimim. Was every time my father came up to Rabbi Moshe Schneider and asked him for money to help him to make Chasna Yesoimim, he opened his heart and he gave fully for everything. Whether he had the money or didn't have the money, by hook or by crook, he opened his heart and he gave Helfna Yid. That was something that Rabbi Yossel Rakov understood. I heard from the Beis Yisrael said, when the Yossel wollte die ganze Eulim gehabt. Es wurde nicht gefehlt bei keinem. But he wasn't solche that he dreamed with a lot of money, but he was never solche to be as secure and fast oisha like some of the people he left behind. This is something we don't understand. I love looking through the pages of the history of the Jewish Tribune because they bring down, a pity they don't bring down the information which I know. How they would like to bring down the nice things, but when it comes to bad things, they don't like to publicize it the same way as I published a letter in the thank you to the Zolle. People don't like to publish that there's something wrong with them, you know, as if it's a pagam on them. That's soil, that's your test in life. That's how Rabbi Feuerstein looked at it. That's how Rabbi Kem Juncker looked at it. That's how Moshe Schneider looked at it. That's how all these Rabbi Yankel Levens looked at it. Ich bin du gemacht geworden zu ziehen nach Nusses Orchem. Ich bin du gemacht geworden zu lernen, zu steigen in Teure. That's what you have to look at. You have to look at the test. Don't look at, oh, what if my situation would have been different, I would have learned. No, this is my situation and I have to learn in this situation. I have to work, but I also have to learn. I think a man who doesn't sit 5 or 6 hours learning a day. How can he be a Yid? How can he be a Yid? It's doch so wichtig, Teure zu lernen. You have no idea. I cannot explain it enough how important it is to occupy your mind hours and hours a day in Teure.